Hey folks, happy Monday. Back in the studio, back in Blighty. Goodness me, it was a tad toasty in Malaysia. As you can see, a bit of a spray on tan going. How have you all been? Hope you've enjoyed the content from Malaysia. Simon, morning from Long Island. 23 degrees of snow so far. Yeah, well, hey, thanks for keeping me up to date on your snow and on your snake fetish, Simon. It's 11 degrees here in the UK. It was, I've got to tell you, it was kind of nice to get back to some slightly cooler weather. Some slightly cooler weather. Have you all been playing some golf wherever you are? Not for yourself, Simon. I've got some friends. Going over to New York. It's been minus 10 there, hasn't it? It's been super cold, hasn't it? Just recently. If you've not seen one of these lives before, the way it works. I stand here for a little amount of time and I answer your questions. Throw them this way, willing to answer anything, golf related. Just been doing all of my Skillist lessons. Oh. It was nice to play in the sunshine though, that's for sure. Gary, welcome back, Stu. Thank you, Gary. I spoke too soon, that bright, mysterious orb in the sky disappeared again. Yeah, it'll be back soon, Gary. It'll be back soon. I just need to keep the faith. Keep watching for it. It'll come, it'll come. Just be patient, my friend. Just be patient. Oh, feel a little on the stiff side. Got back back end of last week. Bit of jet lag going on. It's around about, it was 8 hours difference. So deep into the day, and all of a sudden, the old eyes get a little bit heavy. Got the little hound here. Come and say hello, Barney. Come on, come here. Got the hound here. Come sit down. Come sit down. Come sit down. Sit down. Go on. Sit down. Sit down. Good boy. Good boy. Got Barney in. Always comes in on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Horrible when you go away and you don't see your little doggy. Look at him. Look at him, eh? All right, back on your beddy. Go on, back on your beddy. Barney, back on your beddy. Go on your beddy. Good boy. What have we got coming in? JDT 846 afternoon from Bexley. Excuse the username. My name is Joe. Thanks, Joe, for clarifying. Lots of rain in the UK recently. It is, so my local course was closed. Yeah, it's been such an unseasonably wet time. We normally in the UK, we normally get really wet November and December, and then January, February, normally it dries up. We get lots of frosty conditions, but it's not really been that way this year. Glad to say I've booked a lesson with you. Looking forward to it. Oh, fantastic, Joe. When have you booked in? Looking forward to seeing you and meeting you. Mega Metal Fan 11, that gets me every single time. Thoughts on Riviera course and results this past weekend? Didn't see a huge amount of it. I think, isn't it interesting that 10th hole, that short par 4 that's got that green that's angular. It always catches them out. Just again, more evidence that we don't need length, isn't it? As a golf course, as a spectacle, it's great, isn't it? Many great memories there. I always remember Faldo winning the Sony, not Sony Open. What was it when he won it? Anyway, he won round there, didn't he? Tiger's first ever tour event. It's been a great venue for many, many years, and I think it always kind of reminds me of the UK really in many ways as a golf course. Kind of those, the way the greens are structured, just the feel of the place. But yeah, it's always nice to watch, isn't it? Always nice to watch, good coverage. He tried to throw it away, didn't he? He tried to throw it away. And as per usual, Rory doing his usual thing, late charge on a Sunday. And he's been fluffing around with his equipment, hasn't he? He's been going from a cavity iron to a back to his blade iron. Amazing that someone like that would want to fluff around in that way. Nissan Open, well done. Well done, my man. Nissan Open indeed. Good morning from Houston, Texas. Good morning to you. Just a Man, 1955. Good morning to you. Nice to have you with me. Let me know where everyone's watching from. Got a good few of you on. Double tap the screen if you can. Costs you nothing and it likes the stream. That'd be really appreciated. Would be really appreciated. Just throwing a few out. Nicholas is in the house. Bridgman 1 at Riviera, always hits everything so straight. How does he do it? He's got a good move, isn't he? Swings the golf club nicely, to be fair. Nice player. Yeah. Be interested to see how Rory felt about that, because he was relentlessly straight, wasn't he? Rory seems a bit streaky. Well, he's always been a streaky player, hasn't he, Rory? But nice to see the tour getting going, isn't it? It's good to get some decent tournaments on the box. You're in Michigan. What's the weather like in Michigan at the moment? Mega Metal. Mega Metal fan, yeah. Don't know why that gets me. Anyway. Got myself a new projector in here. Don't know if you can see it, but it's the new projector has made the imagery really, really good. Did you all see my video on course, my 3 holes of golf? It was nice to play. It was nice to play on course. Simon. The commentators said Bridgman has the strongest grip they've ever seen on tour. There you go. There you go. Who knew it was a thing? Gavin McCarthy, what drills are helpful to eliminate too much right side tilt on the downswing? So right side tilt, you're talking about this? Well, the drills to stop that, well, first of all, having too much right side tilt normally comes from someone trying to get the golf club more from the inside. Because side bending your spine, dropping the right shoulder, is part of trying to keep the club from the inside. Keeping the club from the inside. So the right side bend is caused because you've got too much bend of the ball to the left. And if you haven't got too much ball bending to the left, particularly with your driver, it's probably because you're whacking it out the heel. So what you need to do is change your face to path. So your face to path box, that one on the right hand side, you need to make that less negative. If you make that less negative, then you can start to change your too much side bend on the way down. So my advice to you is get yourself in a TrackMan suite, get your face to path box up, hit some shots and do whatever you need to do to make that face to path value less negative. And you will then start to change your right side bend. Hope that helps. Mega Metal fan, snow melted, then a dusting cold back, glad avoiding East Coast storm. Oh, so snow has melted, but it's still a bit chilly by the sounds of it. Gary, hey Stu, is that course in Malaysia a public or private course? If public, how much for a round? It's very much a public course. It's $150 a round, which is incredible value, and the condition was outrageous. The greens were 10.5 on the stimp every day. It was, I mean, you could say it was a resort course. I mean, the rough was fairly juicy in places. It was about 6,800 yards, but it was super quiet. The hotel was called the Datai. Check it out online. It was a spectacular hotel. The course was about a minute transfer from the hotel. Everyone was super friendly, and it's an incredible golf course, one to stick on your bucket list for sure. Free Willie, hi Stuart, nice to see you back in your studio. Thanks Frank, appreciate that. Nice to be back and getting stuck into some content as well. That's all coming. Got the website, it's taking longer than I anticipated, but stay tuned for that. Got a lot of great stuff coming, or got a really great coaching course coming for you all. Yeah, Gary, it was absolutely stunning. Gavin, thanks Stuart. If possible, can you give a good drill or feel for that? Well, so depending on your grip, ultimately where it starts, and most notably, the way golfers grip the golf club is normally weak with their left hand, so thumb sits down the middle, and then their right hand sits too much underneath. If you first of all start with your trail hand, by placing the palm of your hand more on top, get that lifeline placed more on top so the palm is more down. What will start to happen is, with a weak left hand, you'll start to make some backswings where you get the club face a bit open, and all of a sudden you'll start to have a face to path that's more positive. Now with a path line from the inside and too much side bend, that'll make it go more and more out to the right. Then what you need to do is start to think about getting your path line more to the left. And a good way of doing that is just making a few through swings where you go a third back and a third through. And as you start to swing through, you step away from the target. And what this is doing is starting to get your hip back in, getting your chest more over your lead foot, which then gets the grip more down. And when you do that, all of a sudden, you'll start to pick up your right side, because right side bend comes from too much drive with the leg action, which hitches your left hip up, which sits your right shoulder back. So instead of dealing with your top half, if you deal with your lower half, so the more I now start to level out my pelvis by pushing my lead leg back and my lead hip back, can you see how it lifts up my right hip? Now can you see how it lifts up my right shoulder? So the leg action is driving forwards to get the golf club from the inside, because your face to path is too closed. Fix your grip. That will make your face to path better. Doesn't have to be 10 degrees open, but at 10 degrees open, if I was to now get my left hip back, right shoulder high, and I now started to get a path line that was now more outside in because that right side is higher, I'd now start to fade the ball back onto the target. At that point, Now you can control the side bend. You can start to line your face to path up. Once you start to line your face to path up, you can then start to reduce how much you want to lift your right side up, because you're balancing it out with your face to path value. And so now you've got your face to path and your path value that are all starting to get much closer to each other. It's a really simple process, but it's just knowing that you need to change your face to path first before you can start to change body angles. Body angles are just really what you're trying to, how you're trying to corrupt the travel of the grip to offset the bend in the sky. Long-winded answer there, Gavin, but hopefully that helps. Nicholas, I've been working on holding spine angle throughout the swing. I find that if I am too bent over, the ball flies too low. That has nothing to do with that, but if that's how it feels, that's fine, we can talk about that. Flight too low then seems good, but not bend enough promotes standing up hips forwards. Standing up hips forwards, early extension, is just a result of something else. Trying to trap your hips back is a bit like pushing a round peg in a square hole. So I'd be really careful about doing that, because you can do yourself a bit of an injury. If the ball's going too low, it means that you've not found the right solution. So very difficult, Nicholas, for me to give you a reason for why that's occurring. But early extension, everybody tries to fix this move, but that is the symptom. Early extension is never the fix. What's going on before and after is the fix. Alistair Mack, welcome back, Stu. Thank you so much. Your swing was looking great on the course videos. Thank you so much. Can you explain the pull to push motion through impact in line with the handle path moving from in to in? Hope this makes sense. Yeah, so the pull line of the grip, and I think this is obviously going to be, I'm going to do a video on this, but the pull line of the grip is to offset the travel of the head. So when the golf club is going back, as we take the grip back in, and the club head is falling back in that direction, where most golfers, their club head is falling in that direction in a backswing, so it comes in and falling over a golfer in transition. Compared to good players, their club heads are falling backwards in transition. If I've got a club head that's falling back in transition, I need to make sure that the grip is going to move forwards. So that's important to start with. And a good way to feel that is to lift the grip up in front of you. And as you lift the grip up in front of you, you feel how the club head lifts up, the forearm rotation at the top of your backswing makes the club head fall towards your trail shoulder. So if you set yourself up, lift the club straight up in front of you, and as you lift to the point where you would lift it in a backswing, when you get to the top, you then lay the shaft down. That's what it should feel like in a backswing. That's what that feels like. As opposed to most golfers, when they get to the top of their backswing, feel this, which is this. And because of that, because the club head is falling over the golfer, they're now having to hold the club back to give it time to swing from the inside. So first things first, let's understand why that grip moves forwards, and that is the reason. When the grip is then pulled forwards, that head is thrusting energy up into the grip, which is then about feeling how that lead hand can push down. And if we go back to Greg, I think it was Greg or Gavin, yeah, it was Gavin that asked about right side bend. When you push the grip down, it now makes the right side much higher. I push the grip down and it makes the right side much higher. I push the grip down, it makes the right side much higher, which starts to open up the lower half. So You can't, when you're swinging the golf club, go out, down, in. Doesn't work that way. But when you start shifting this heavy end around in the right pattern, you'll start to sense how it's moving in space. So as you start to move it around you, you'll start to feel how that club, and if you saw that on-course video, could you see my drills that I was doing? Making my backswing, and I'm trying to feel as much out as possible. Now, can you see that that's now going to give me the opportunity to start to put force on the grip down and through? But it's how I'm trying to shift the weight around my body. So it's not, I move it out, move it down, and move it in. It's about understanding how, and if you ever saw it, a truck and trailer video that I did, where the grip moves and where the head moves are completely opposite, but you need to set that in motion from the get-go. So I can't say, you pull it here, push it, but it's seeing the picture of how this heavy end and light end need to interact with each other. Hopefully that gives you some insights there, Alistair. It's so difficult because that's all well and good, but of course when you go to practice swing, and Alistair, you are the chap that I gave a swing analysis to just a moment ago, right? When how your grip moves and how your head moves will be part and parcel of how your leg action needs to move, which I talked about. So it's all linked in, and it's about understanding this as a sum of the parts. It's not just one single entity that's going to suddenly unlock a golfer. It's about how you hold to it, prime the movement with standing to it properly, then start using your feet better. And once you start to, and this is where my course that I've created that I'm going to be selling through my new website, it's going to be like 100 quid or something, but it's going to give you the fundamental patterns of movement that will be able to instill how you move this golf club. And at that point, you can then start to build from there. I went on a bit there. Gary, back to work, Stu. Have a great day. You too, Gary. I'm trying to decide what was more impressive in Malaysia, your swing or that awesome editing and drone work. Thank you. I really enjoy the editing. I really do. Free Willy, please can you explain how firm or loose should the wrists be at impact? Well, you need to have softness to allow the hinge to unload, don't you? So that golf club there has to unload through strike, so they're going to be pretty soft to make that club create some speed. In terms of a measurement, again, depends on how heavy and light the golf club is. Depends on how out of orientation the grip is and the face is. Depends on how out your face orientation is. Depends on how out you are relative to the golf ball. Because grip pressure and wrist pressure is really about manipulating the face back to straight. And there is always manipulation, no matter how you swing the golf club. But it's different for all, because I do dozens of skillist lessons a week, and I see a multitude of grips that are overlooked because people are wanting to get onto the sexy stuff, which is all absolutely fine. But if I'm trying to make someone move within the parameters of how I like to see them, if they're standing to it and holding it poorly to start with, you just won't do this stuff. You won't be able to achieve it. Hope that helps. Nicholas, it seems like not going full in the backswing promote hooking while being sure to get all the way in the back helps a straighter swing. Anything to add to that? No, that's not true, Nicholas. No, not true. You're a gem, Stu. Thank you. And yes, you just did my swing analysis on Skillist. Incredibly helpful, and we'll get practicing. You're super welcome, Alistair. Again, Nicholas, I would really encourage you. I mean, you've got a lot of in-depth questions, which is great. So you're being so specific, though, that it's very difficult for me to give you definitive answers. If you were to, I've done which is gonna stop actually at the end of February. Yes, there's only a short amount of time left on my 3 priority swing analysis videos on my Skillist channel, where for small fees like £10, $15, where I give you the top 3 things that you need to work on with your swing. I would really encourage you, Nicholas, to send me that it's such a small amount, but it would give you some clarity on where you need to work with your game. I'd be really interested because some of the questions that you ask are really quite in depth, and most of the time when I work with amateur golfers, it doesn't need to be that in depth. And I work with tour players, it doesn't need to be that in depth, but unfortunately we get injected with all of this super complicated stuff that really isn't needed. It's really not that difficult. It really isn't. But when you've got a face that's so out of orientation to your swing, you know, if I make my normal swing, I just make my normal swing, and all of a sudden I come back with a face that's a million miles close to my path. Face to path, it didn't get the data point on that. Let me just do that again. So normal swing, face to path value that's miles out of orientation. It won't be long before I am going to start doing some funky things to make that fly straight. Look at that angle of attack and look at that path line. But because the face to path was closed, if I was to continue to do that, and so that face to path, it didn't get it. But to make the ball bend that much, that face to path would have been about 14 or 15 degrees negative. Now I'm going to create the same 14 or 15 degrees negative, and I'm now going to hit that target. Now without trying to fix the face to path, what I'm going to do is try and move differently to make that ball hit the target with that negative 15 degrees face to path value. Now all of a sudden I'm really trying hard to come from the inside at 7 degrees. Now look at the difference to my golf swing. But look at how much closer that golf ball is to my target. Now seeing how I'm finished here, what would you work on? Oh, Stuart, you've got too much inside out. You need to sort your path out. Well, okay, I'll fix my path. I'll stop going from inside out. But no mention of the fixing the face to path. So I'm now going to go 11 degrees again with my face to path, and I'm now going to make my path line much straighter. So path line now much straighter. Now I've still got the 11 degrees. Well, okay, so I've now hit my path better, and I've now got my angle of attack better, but I can't find the golf course. So if you don't recognize the top of the pile with golf swings is face to path, if you don't manage your face to path, you will never find neutral. And at that point, when you master how to control your face to path value, you will then master how to move around the golf ball. And at that point, things will just start to collide. So now I swing with a more neutral path, and I have a face to path that's massively open. I now do exactly the same. So I have a nice straight path line, 1 degree. Didn't do very well opening the club face up there, did I? Let's have a go again. It's a straight path, and then this time I have a massively open face to path value. So 4 degrees across it, but my face to path was 3.8 open. So at that point, my path would start to respond to the open face to path, which is your classic slicer. But in yesteryear, it's all been about trying to fix your path. It's never about fixing your path. It's never about fixing your angle of attack. It's all about fixing your face to path. Yeo, back in the UK? Absolutely. Back in the UK. Thank you for everyone joining. Nice to have you all with us. Nice to be back on the mat, hitting some balls. Feel like I've eaten too much. Feel a little zapped by the jet lag, but it's great to be back. Great to be back in the studio, back here at Precision Golf. And if you haven't done so, my partners at GX Golf Clubs, go check them out. Grab my code, Good Coaching, to get 10% off your order. Super gloves, really, really good value, and they last a very long time. If you're in the States, by the way, you're going to be able to get them very soon over there. let me know where you're tuning in from. There's a nice amount of you on. If you could double tap the screen, that would be hugely kind of you, as it helps spread the stream. Oh, as per usual, I'm getting warm. Let me just take my jumper off. Exciting week ahead. Going to get some more content filmed in the studio. Pretty much the whole of February I have covered the driver. Hopefully that's been useful. Mega Metal, thoughts on distribution of practice shots, 100, 200, 100, 150? Yeah, good question. I think, look, everybody knows that being good from 100 yards is really quite useful. But I think being good from 150 is useful too, right? I think if you're good from 150, add 50 yards to it. And what I mean by that is your only job, and I can't stress this enough, your only job, whether that face to path value, the more that face to path value is out, the more your golf club head is going to have to move this way or this way through strike. So if you have a face to path value that's closed, your club head is going to have to try and travel too much from the inside out. If you have a club face that's too much open, your club face is going to have to travel too much from the outside in. When you have a face to path value that's too negative, it travels too much from the inside out, and at that point you have angles of attack that invariably become worse. When you have a face to path value that's too open, you invariably end up with a path line that's too much outside in and an angle of attack that's too steep. Both of those two types of golfer either end up having either too much spin, too much flight. That's the person that's got too much of a face to path value open. And the person that's too negative with their face to path has too little spin and too little flight. Now the person that's got less spin is going to be a little bit better with their wedges than the person that's got too much loft and too much spin. So the closer you make your face to path value to neutral, the better your angle of attack is going to be, and the better your path is going to be. And so when you've got a face to path value that's not too negative or positive, the inspiration to either push your club head out to the right to stop it hooking, or pull it to the left to stop it slicing will be reduced. And therefore you'll find the center more times. And because you're doing that, your angle of attack will be more consistent. So when you get control of your face to path value, your ability to hit the shots at 100, 150, 200 will just improve proportionately. Going down the range and saying, right, I'm going to work on hitting it from 150, well, that's just dealing with the length of shaft and a lofted golf club. But if your golf swing fundamentally is dramatically open or dramatically closed, you're still going to have to stem the flow of poor swings that cause you to hit poor 150 shots. So if you just improve your face to path value always, you will forever keep improving your golf. But it's just, where do you start with that face to path value change? Put your hands on the club right that start to get you better address, that starts to shift that weight around better, then you've got way more at your disposal to make face to path values become more open so that you can start to hit little fades down to the target, and then the ability to still be able to, with a good hold, to then be able to have balls that have a slight draw. it's just then becomes very subtle. But if you're so far out with your hold, that then creates dysfunction with your forearms and your shoulders, that has a knock-on effect of your spine and your pelvis, that causes your feet to not work properly, and then you're trying to make your 150 shot work better. So at that point, it then becomes about this journey of playing the game, of just trying to put out fires all the time instead of keep building. Now, one thing that is constant in all of us is that we're moving slower as we're getting older. So we need to become more efficient as we're getting older. And so the authenticity of how we move when we get older becomes more important. It's not about making faster swings. It's not necessarily about creating more flight, more spin. It's just about being a bit more efficient to give ourselves the best opportunity to hold form, hold speed, and therefore keep control. So again, I have a slight problem with, should I practice more with 100 yards or 150 or 200? Well, practice with them all, because you need to be good in all of those areas, really. But unfortunately, if your swing's a long way out, you can spend a lot of time in one area, but the minute you take your eye off of it, you just become crap again. And this is something that I find when I start to work with people, it becomes a much less high maintenance sport that you can have a week off, come back to it and still pick it up and feel like you've got a level of performance. It shouldn't be that you've got to beat balls every day to be decent. Sorry, I went on one there, but hopefully that gives you a good answer there, Mega Metal fan. Kazoo, welcome back, Stuart. Thank you, Kazoo. I understand how the yoga ball drill helps the swaying, but how does it improve path? The Swiss ball roll helps golfers orientate their pelvis in a better spot relative to the golf ball. But path, again, is a reflection of how your face to path is behaving. If your face to path is positive, you will never, ever consistently get your path from the inside. If your face to path is too negative, you will never get your path more straight or outside in, unless you tie yourself up in knots. It just doesn't work that way. Your brain, your body will not allow you to fix your path. So for you, I remember doing a lesson for you on Skillist. I believe I've done a lesson with you on Skillist, haven't I, Kazoo? Yeah. If you don't take control of your face to path, the path will never stay there. So the grip is always top of the pile for that. Nicholas, I'm trying to make my face to path -1 or -2 and club path +3 or +4. Perhaps face to path -2 or 3 and club path. Wonderful. Keep doing it. There was no question in there. That was just you stating what you're trying to do. Sounds like those are good relationships, face to path and path lines. Absolutely. That should work for you if you can achieve it. I'll be here for another 10 minutes or so. Let's go to 1:45. Keep those questions coming in. Love to keep helping. Love to keep helping. Great lesson, yes, you have. Thanks. My pleasure, Kazoo. My pleasure. Thanks for joining the live. Hey Baker, hi boss, how are you? Thanks for all the swing series vids. They are amazing, telling everyone I know about them. My pleasure, my pleasure. My friend here is referring to the Ultimate Setup Guide, Ultimate Backswing Series, Ultimate Downswing Series, Ultimate Impact Series, and the Ultimate Low Point Control Series that I've just put on as members content. It's a small fee, $4.99, but crikey, honestly, for everything that you're probably paying in lessons, you will get so much from those videos. They're in my playlist and they're on the home page of my channel. Go check those out because that will change your golfing life. I promise you. I promise you. Who have we got here? This is a name that I haven't seen before. Tyrin McDonald 1207. I have a question. I'm a +6. How is that handicap? I'm a +6. If you are, that's fantastic. Are you about to go on tour? However, releasing is a big problem for me. Now, where do you find yourself releasing? I have a question. I'm a +6. If you're a +6, are you really asking me a question on where you're releasing? Give me some more context, Tyrin. Give me some more context. Philip. Hi, Stuart. It's Philip from Dubai, rather than Hampshire. Apprehensive as I'm playing at Emirates course with my son-in-law with a +1 handicap slight. Don't worry about it, Philip. Go and enjoy it. Are you playing the Majorlist? If you are, you will have an amazing time. Or are you playing the Faldo at the Emirates? Which one are you playing? And I look forward to hearing all about it. The one thing that you must realize, as all golfers, whether you are a +1 handicap, whether you're a 15 handicap, we've all had to learn the game. And we will all experience bad shots. What you feel, Philip, as a bad shot will be how the +1 handicap feels when he hits a bad shot. The +1 handicap will turn up on the tee knowing that you know he's +1, and he will know that you have an expectation of his golf. And he will carry that with you, or carry that with him. And it was interesting, we had Charlie Hull. We did a live on the Precision Golf channel. And one of the things that she deals with, or one of the things that affects her quite a lot, is playing in pro-ams because people have an expectation of her. And so she feels pressure when she plays in pro-ams. So at every level, whether you are a complete beginner, tour player, good amateur, everybody feels pressure to some degree about something. Suck it up, baby. You will be fine, I promise you. Lots of questions just flying in. All right, hang on. I'm going to have to come back over here because they've all disappeared off the screen. So Dubai, Sam, thanks for doing this. Love everything you do. Question on wrists at impact. Is the wrist in ulnar deviation or radial? Well, good question. You are always going to have the golf club unloading down. You will never stop that. That club head is too heavy and traveling too fast. So this unloading down is going to be there. The more it unloads down, the more your grip and posture is going to have to lift up to adjust. So if you go check out a video, it's me on the front of the video with a broken shaft. I'm going like this, pointing at it, and it's a great drill. Go check that video out, and it will change everything about how you recognize how these wrists work through strike. The golf club is always going to unload down, but recognizing the pressure and the grip in the pad of the hand to reduce it, that feeling there is exactly the same feeling I'm having here. But you're never going to stop the golf club from lifting up and the wrists unloading down. Hope that helps, and thank you so much for the kind comments. So it looks like Just a Man has just joined the channel. Thank you so much for joining the channel, and I hope you enjoy the members' content. Tyrin has just replied after me asking more context. Well, I've been playing around with tightening. I've been playing around with tightening my swing plane, one plane for all clubs. You can't one plane a golf swing. The problem I found with this is my releasing timing is never the same for my 5-iron versus my 7-iron, and nor should it be. You cannot one plane a golf swing. Simon, equipment question. Stu, I'm finding the address with more pressure down on the grip that the toe of my irons are way up. Should I get my lie angle adjusted? You need to test whether your lie angle has changed dynamically and not statically. Most golfers have the golf grip too high at address, and therefore the toe is too down. Then when I put golfers in a good address position, they see the toe of the golf club up, and they think that's a negative thing. It won't have changed your dynamic lie angle to start with. The best way to do is get yourself a golf ball, get a marker pen, draw a straight line down the ball, then line that up vertically when you set yourself up to the golf ball, hit a golf shot, and wherever that line is on the club face that you just painted on will tell you how you need to adjust your lie angle. Simon, that's Simon. So David Ord, hi Stuart, love the live. Thank you so much, David. I love doing them and touching base with all of you. I struggle with driver and spinning rates leading to loss of distance. Do you know how I could address this? So many people have too much spin, and that's one of the reasons why we see drivers now have so little spin. Most of the time, high spin comes from obviously your hold. That is absolutely top of the pile. Hitting it out the heel and working too much from inside out. If you attack all three of those, I promise you one of them will fix it for you. So look at your grip. If you're not a member of the channel, I've done an in-depth video on the grip. Join the channel for a month, watch the video, cancel the subscription, but once you've watched that video, you will be different forever, and there's everything in there that will give you what you need to know about the grip. Once you've fixed your grip, you can then start to think about realigning your contact. I've done a video on striking the ball out the middle of the face with driver. Go and watch that. And then once you've done that, all of a sudden, you'll then start to change your path because you won't want to come too much from the inside anymore because your grip's better. One of those three things will fix that problem for you. Then Tyrin goes on to ask another question. This is the +6 handicapper. If he's a +6 handicapper, my name is Mavis. Tyrin, how could I hone in my release timing? I'm self-taught and feel like I'm running around in circles. Unfortunately, I will be running around in circles too, Tyrin, because I can't give you an exact fix because release for one person is no release for another. So if you want to take advantage of me giving you your top 3 things you need to work on in your golf swing, go check out my Skillist profile where you will find for $9.99, $15, a very, very good opportunity to let me share my thoughts on your swing. Rockass, did you see the new video by Athletic Motion Golf Spark Factor? No, I didn't. I steer as far away from other golf channels as I possibly can. Perry, thanks Stu, just an appreciation post, the only YouTube golf channel I watch now. Legend, London, UK. Well, Perry, that's really, really kind of you to say, and that makes me very happy because you will, as you know, get better on good golf coaching. Miles Brignac said, hi to you, sir. David, thank you, Stuart. You are super welcome. Well, on that super interactive session, I'm going to call it a day there. Hopefully you've all enjoyed that. I will be back probably tomorrow. Keep that notification bell on. I'm going to do another live at some point, and I will be back later on in the week. Check out all of my socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. I really appreciate all of you for checking in and enjoying this live with me. From Barney and I, you all have a great week, and I'll see you tomorrow.